how's it going? This is EJ Classic Car Lover, and this video is about me reacting to his video called Here's Why the Hummer is Garbage. This is by Scotty Kilmer, and I will be talking about stuff and playing the video for you. So here we go.
Today I'm going to talk about why Hummers are terrible vehicles.
I agree.
have to admit, Hummers are interesting vehicles.
Yeah, they are.
They failed twice. They failed both in the commercial market, where they sold them to the public, and in the military market, where they didn't meet the needs of the Army. They weren't armored enough. People got injured, and even the Army isn't going to be using them for much
Yeah, that's
longer.
right.
The Army's
I ain't gonna use
Hummers
that long.
with joint-like
Yeah, they're using that too.
vehicle. Take explosions better, so the people inside aren't injured, and can carry more. So it failed militarily, but it also failed commercially. GM lost money on the deal. Now, the reason they sold them to the public, basically because of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's
the story
true.
goes, as told by Arnold, that he saw a bunch of them when he was driving around in California and said, I want to get one of these. So, back in 1991, he went to the company and said, hey, can you build me a legal civilian version of your Humvees? Well, I guess Arnold was really persuasive, so they built him one. He had the first one. Then I guess they decided, hey, we're going to build them for the public. One can only wonder if Arnold would have seen an M1 Abrams tank and he wanted a civilian version of that, perhaps they would have tried selling that to the public. And if GM had hindsight, they probably wish that they never listened to Arnold, because they lost money. They never made any profit on them, and they were gigantic gas guzzlers right at the time when people started talking about, hey, we need higher gas ratings. Things are going to get better gas mileage. Hey, the large H1s, the military version, will get like 3 miles a gallon in a city and like 7 miles a gallon on a highway. I didn't go all that fast. Their top cruising speed was like 55. They could go 70 for once in a while. But
they slow.
The top cruising speed was 55, so it's not exactly an American cruiser. And of course, their size. The H1s
they were
so
really big.
They don't fit in some parking spaces.
They're hard to park too. Yep.
Not that easy to work on either. They're so
They're very
big.
difficult, very expensive to
You
buy too.
can't go AutoZone, buy a cheap little jack and think you're going to jack that thing up in the air and work on it. So, of course, GM tried making an H2 and the H3, making them smaller, trying to turn them into SUVs. But ultimately, the Hummers, they were a commercial failure. Now, the military version only had diesel engines, and they started selling them commercially with diesel engines, but Americans, they're not that into diesel engines. So then they put V8 gasoline engines in them, but really those V8 gasoline engines weren't made for pulling a vehicle like that. Diesel engines have a lot more torque for a heavy thing like that. So, of course, the ones with the gasoline engines, they ended up getting even worse gas mileage. Plus, they had problems with the engines breaking down, the transmissions breaking down on such a heavy vehicle.
They do got a lot of problems,
transmission
problems and the other problems too.
To make a smaller vehicle, it wouldn't be strained as much. But still, the whole idea of it is kind of flawed. A couple months ago, one of my customers went to one of those auctions where they were selling all the old military stuff. He got himself a military.
Hummers are one of the awfulest SUVs ever made. Even General Motors are awful. Yep, they really awful. Even a Chevy Copo can be reliable. They suck. Alright, back to the video.
Humvee for $2,500. So he towed over here and I looked at it and I said, man, this thing is in rough shape. Why do you think the military got rid of it? Now, he showed me his receipt, which I took a picture of on my phone. And on his receipt, they had legal document. And some of the things it said, fuel leaks, not checked. Cooling system, missing hose, limited function check. The engine could not be started. On the very end, it says disputes. This has an ironclad assurance. If a buyer discovers the item is not substantially in the condition as representative, the buyer may submit a written dispute claim. Well, since it said they couldn't check the fuel system, the cooling system, that the engine did not start, yeah, the guarantee isn't much of anything. It just says, as they described it, and they described that the thing didn't even run, it was missing a bunch of pieces. So, if you are a real weekend warrior, and you want to get yourself a Hummer, and you have decades of weekends in front of you that you want to play around with this thing, and have it as a toy, be my guest. Go right ahead. Don't think you're going to buy one of these things and use it as an everyday driver. Because even if you spend a lot of money, spend 30 or 40 grand on one that's been all fixed up, they are not very reliable vehicles.
Yep.
After all,
Agreed.
they were made by
They are.
General
They are
Motors.
not.
And
They
were
are
originally made for the
piece of crap,
military,
too.
where gas mileage means nothing. They burn up fuel like mad in all their vehicles, from Humvees to tanks to jets. Fuel doesn't mean anything to them. And also, longevity. They spend a lot of their times having their battle vehicles being repaired. It's just a normal expectation of anything the military has, that they're going to spend a lot of time fixing the things. And fixing them with guys whose only job is to fix them. So they learned quite a bit about it. As I said, even GM realized, well, they're selling them to the public, we better put a gasoline engine in them, because Americans don't know much about diesel engines. And of course, putting a gasoline engine in something that heavy, that was a step backwards, not a step forwards. And it's
Hold on, guys. It's an ad coming up. Let me skip
It can
it.
expose your lungs to acrolein, which can cause irreversible damage.
All right, back to the video.
Commercial failure selling it to the public, but it was also a military failure. It turns out that the thing is basically too big for the public driving around, but it was too small and lightweight for the Army. People were seriously injured or killed because they didn't have enough armor, and then the guys in the Army were saying, hey, bring us some stuff, and I'm sure they were welding stuff out in the field, too, to try to make them safer. So, too big for the American road and too small for the Army. To me, it's just another GM product that failed. Not enough research done on what it's going to be used for and how it's going to be accessed. It's an image thing for most guys. They want to be like Arnold. Arnold driving his Hummer around. So it's got the image of real He-Man driving around these giant vehicles. But really, my son was in the Army 2 tours in Afghanistan. When he got out of Afghanistan, he said, I'll never ever go in another one of those Humvees. So the real men, once they were in them in the war, they're like, no, we don't need those things anymore. We're staying far away. And some have very bad memories with them, too, so they don't even want to look at them. But the guys who want to play He-Man, maybe they'll go out and buy one of these things. And if they see it as a toy, they want to play around with it. Hey, it's their money. There's a whole
Yeah, that's right. It's their
bunch
money.
of endless
You mean you can buy what you want. It's your money, so go ahead and buy what you want.
out there in junkyards, salvage auctions. I mean, you can get them pretty cheap. Just realize that time
They kinda
and the
expensive to
money
buy,
you're going to have to put
though.
into one of those things to get it running, and what you're going to have to spend to maintain the thing if you drive it any serious amount of mileage each year. Now, coincidentally enough, GM stopped making the Hummers after they came out of that big bankruptcy they had.
Yeah, they went bankrupt in 2010.
Money, so we're not going to make them. I guess the bankruptcy shook GM up a bit, and they realized, hey, it was a fantasy gone wrong. So they stopped making them when they came out of bankruptcy. And as I said, from 2005 to 2010, they were making those little H3s in Shreveport, Louisiana, but they were a failure too. Their quality
Yeah, they
control was
are.
garbage.
They
I had
were
a cousin
they
with
were
one.
they were crap.
He was always coming over here because he used it as a regular vehicle, and he was
They
putting
suck, too.
20,000 miles a year.
Hummers
And
really
once
suck.
you got 40,000 miles on it, it pretty much started to fall apart. The electronics were garbage, and even though it was a smaller vehicle, it still got horrible gas mileage. Now, he bought his H3 semi-loaded for $42,000. When we got rid of it when it was 4 years old, man, did he lose his shirt. He only got $18,000 for it. So, they don't have resale value either. I mean, especially the H3s, they were like, they're not as macho looking, so you got the macho image kind of disappeared.
Ugh,
Their quality
pink,
was
ugh.
actually worse than the
Hate
earlier
pink.
ones. As time went on, they just started making things cheaper, like GM always seems to do. And interestingly enough, the factory in Shreveport, Louisiana, that made the H3s, it was leased to that crazy guy who makes the three-wheel.
Ugh, that car looked ugly.
Well, I should say, he's planning on making the three-wheeled Elia. They've never actually produced any on a production line. Every year they say next
Ugh.
year. Now they're saying
I wouldn't
next
want that
year.
car.
And next year they'll say next year. Eventually, the guy's got to go bankrupt because you can't just keep pretending you're going to make something and never do anything about it. But at least the Elia, hey, it looks like it's not going to lose a whole bunch of money because they're not going to make any probably. So if you don't make it, you can't lose that much money. Whoever invested in a company, well, they lose their money. There's no arguing with that. But it's not like GM that lost a lot of money making those Hummers, made a bunch of them, and just wasn't a profitable endeavor. After all, General Motors only made 11,815 of these H1s. At that low production level, and they had to make them, right? They had to have all the machinery and everything set up. It was a money loser for GM. Because it's one thing if you're making vehicles for the military where it's pretty much cost plus, they can charge whatever they can get away with, versus selling it to the public where there's competition over what people can buy and lower quality for lower price. It kind of bit them in the rear end. As they got poorer and poorer made, people realized that, the few that actually bought them. So in my opinion, if you want to be a He-Man and buy yourself a Hummer H1, go right ahead, it's your money. Real men like my
Yep, it's
son,
your money. Buy
he's
what you
driving a
want.
Toyota Tacoma. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Not yet.
See? That's free.
Alright guys, that was in the video. So, tell me the opinion. Do you think Hummers are good cars, reliable, or do you think they're bad cars, unreliable? Tell me in the comments below. And also, tell me, do you want me to make more reaction videos? Tell me in the comments below also. Alright, bye.
Episode